So it seems I have a bit of a confession to make. See, in the last episode where we were doing some administrative stuff, the response was quite good. I can't lie. I really appreciated all of your input. And so it is with that in mind that we begin by changing some of the stuff that I did. Mostly because not that I didn't consult all of my counselors, but there was just some feedback on some of the names that we did. Namely, the Vale is now the Redwoods, and I will have to go into the game code and change that to be red, because that will bother me. If that bothers you, go ahead and hit that like button, because I will go in and change it. And that also means that we need to figure out what to do with the rock, because unfortunately it seems like if I have red on both sides of me, that's probably going to drive me crazy too. So let me know what you think of that. The other side of this is we need to change the kingdom tier title of the woods. It's going to change to I think just the den. I think that's probably the best way to approach it. If you like that, let me know down in the comment section if you have another suggestion for what that should be. But kind of at the heart of the woods being the den. I kind of like that. Things will still change here and there. I think all of this seems really good, and I love the customization factor in all this. But I think more than anything, we need to be prepared to change things up if the need arises. And so let me know down in the comment section what you think. Obviously, this is not just my opinion on all this. I take everybody's opinion into account. So yeah, I want to hear what you have to say. And let's get started with today's episode by rolling that intro right now. Is that intro really catchy to anybody else? I love it. I don't know how it became such an integral part of of this thing that we have going on, but I love it. It looks like... Oh, I'm under direct vassal. I was going to say, it looks like they're independent, but no, they're not. If we're under the realms view, we can see. Yeah, they're part of the north, and it looks like so are these guys. Yeah. It looks like Sunderland is also a part of the north. Which is hilarious. The Sistermen actually exist, even though they're technically Andals. And it looks like a Glover owns this one. That's interesting. That's interesting to me. Okay, so here in this episode, what we're going to end up having to do is prepare ourselves for the future. We've talked about everything going on with Estian. We've given ourselves till the age of 50 to produce another heir. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we need to be prepared for the inevitability that it's not going to happen. We do have a couple of viable male heirs, and Prince Xavier is one of them. He already has a son as well, and then it looks like he also... No, that was his wife cheating on him. That's right. That's right. So we have Prince Alex and Prince Xavier. We also have Prince Zachary, who's the legitimized bastard son of the High King Aegon and Lady Paramount Arwen. And so he didn't end up with any congenital traits, but he has the potential to do so. And we do have control over him right now because he's being tutored by us. We won't continually have that, but once Lady Paramount Arwen dies, the kingdom of the Rock will fall to Prince Zachary of the Wood. So we'll actually have a member of House Bear, a legitimized member of House Bear, in the Westerlands, or in the Rock. And so we need to figure out what we're going to do pressing forward with an heir. If push comes to shove, we can take the seduction focus and just attempt to have a bastard that we legitimize. That's fine. However, I think we need to be careful with that, because we could run into succession crises in the future. The more we propagate the line, the more issues we could potentially have. So legitimate sons are preferred. and then followed by Prince Xavier or Prince Zachary, depending on who's alive. Xavier currently has the con in terms of being at the front of secession after Estian. But we do need to be careful because we need to get rid of Estian in an honorable way, and I haven't figured out what the best method of doing that is. I don't want to kill him, because obviously I don't want Vaelor to be a kinslayer, and I don't want him to have that on his conscience for forever. However, we can't have a son, a prince, that is that is unable to produce an heir. I don't know what the proper protocol is, because I can't just up and send him to the wall. He's married, so he won't go to the Citadel or anything like that. We did have that chance at one point, but that was whenever I didn't know that his fertility was 0. So we need to, and technically I shouldn't know that, other than the fact that I used the console to look at it. So I'm just to kind of lay this bare. Ironically, that was a pun, just so you know. I'm just going to lay this out there. I'm not going to use the console to get rid of him. I'm not. I don't want to do that. I don't want to cause that again. We did that before, kind of out of necessity, but I'm not going to do that this time. We're going to find a legitimate way to move Prince Estian out of the line of succession and potentially disinherit him. If there is any reason to dismiss him, like I'm going to keep an eye out for plots, arrest him or whatever if we need to, but it has to be an honorable cause. So if you have suggestions, I would always appreciate them. But just so you know, that's my plan going forward. We need to be as careful as we possibly can with this plan in order to secure secession for the future, but also not to mess it up going forward. So it's a delicate balance that we need to maintain. And until then, oh, look at that guy. Look at him peeking through. The head of the bear is our master of coin, Stefan. That is hilarious. I can't zoom in anymore, but that's awesome. That's like one of those like Three Stooges where they like smash the painting over the guy's head. I think that was on Scooby-Doo as well. Anyways, I digress. My ADD got the better of me there. We're moving on. We're keeping, chugging along. But just so you know, 3 years. 3 years. And we will consider about every possibility at that point. The wall is under assault, and the Night's Watch is hard-pressed to defend it. They've called on all the lords of the realm to take up arms and aid them in defending the realm from the dangers beyond the wall. So, ready the men, we ride north at dawn. This is King Orig the Second, Widowmaker of Beyond the Wall, is currently in an invasion of the wall of the Night's Watch. So we need to go help defend. Apparently I have a new appreciation for the Lady Paramount, who is my lover. Although, are we lovers still? We're not. I remember that. We broke up. Which is fine by me. I mean, I'm cool with that, but still. Okay, so we need to begin the process. Look, they outnumber them. I don't know why they're calling. Oh, wow. Look at their numbers. Look at the war score right there. That's crazy. Okay, so let's raise up some troops here. Let's see what we can get in terms of fleet levies. What's hilarious is like we're not even close to the. Let's disband these units. I don't want to have them travel all the way south. This one too. Disband unit. So it's hilarious to me that what we end up with in the series more often than not is a war that I don't need to raise up all of my forces for. And I'm very interested to see what would happen if I use the full force of the of everything that I have, like the full amount of men that I have. I'm so interested to see what would happen and to know like what could possibly take place. What in the world? What? A daughter was born to Prince Estian of the Woods and Violet Kellington, named Lysana. Really? Are we sure? Are we sure that's legit? Are we sure that's legit? Wow. How did you do it? How did you do that? We just had this conversation. How did you do that? This game cracks me up sometimes. It gives you this impression that there's like no hope for anything, and then all of a sudden, like, everything changes. Everybody's good. And why wouldn't they be, right? No. That's ridiculous. I can't believe that. I seriously, I'm just so... I'm just at a loss for words, guys. I don't even know. I don't even know what to do with this. Okay, so we have a bit of an issue here. I guess we can take this 2,000 strong army. We can make that work by traveling up to Eastwatch by the Sea. It was around this location and this time that Aegon died, was it not? Do we have an organizer in our midst? We do. Simmons Shell. So let's switch him and Vaelor. We can begin the process of working that out. Let's see if we can chase these guys down before they leave. The Vale's always so hard to traverse. Look, blessings upon you and your house. We propose that Lord Elmar of Chattering Brook and Cersei of Tooth marry. This is Lord Elmar Ardor. So he's marrying Cersei of Tooth. We'll accept that. I arranged that betrothal. There's potential for some really good traits in that whole thing. Lady Perienne has usurped the title of the Lordship of Bronzegate from Sir Joffrey Sevenstar. Interesting. So how do I only have 85%? What more do I need to do? Oleney Frostarm. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Huh. Interesting. So, we're going to continue on this route, and if I gotta go pick up more men, I will. But we are going to defend the wall as best as we possibly can. Just send my men there, and I will actually command this army. Once we arrive on land, there we go. We will rebalance the units, and I will take the vanguard, basically. I'll take the center. And we will go engage. They're not going to run because we're a smaller army than them, so we don't need to worry about that. We're going to let that dude rot, and we're going to banish him to the Night's Watch, which is ironic because that's where Vaelor is right now. So I can just imagine this Wildling King like chilling here at Castle Black's, and then his scouts come back and say, "You know, my lord, there's an army marching on the gates." And he asks about the size of the army, and they say, "Well, it's about half the size of our army." And he's just like, "Okay, whatever." And they fail to mention that there's also a dragon riding alongside of them. You know, that's kind of an important detail. look, we got there on the same day. Look, the Night's Watch did it at the same time, too. Oh, that dude was not prepared for this. Oh, that guy was not prepared for that situation to happen. Alright, we're going to march to the Gorge. Actually, we're going to march through Shadow Tower, just because it's going to be easier, like the attrition has potential to be much easier on us going forward. Okay. And once we march from Shadow Tower, there we go. We'll march on the Gorge. We'll march down from the Shadow Tower to the Gorge. Need to look at this. My king, I, Kasana, sincerely ask that I be allowed to pursue a career as a Septon. What? Huh. I guess I'm okay with that. Huh. A female Septon. Interesting. I wonder if that's like, you know, a septa, and it's just not gender specific in the mod. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It would be very crazy if she became like a female Septon. That'd be really cool. Okay, so for the first time ever, mark your calendars, friends, that we're going to deploy the dragon in the siege as Vaelor. My king, we've taken Ruddy Hall, but King Orig Borhel is not here. We'll have his family put in the dungeon, and we'll continue. Are we done sieging down already? Wow, it's just one province. Okay, will we arrive there? 15th of September, 21st of... Yeah, we'll arrive before they will. I'm checking on all these kids that appear in our court because these are all the result of our, like, congenital dealings. So, just giving them a once-over, just taking a look and seeing, you know, what's going to cause it. So this battle is going to happen. We're going to deploy the dragon in the battle. The High King is going to ride the dragon. Oh, look, Corellin Snowbear, who is quick, playful, curious, and willful. Let's give her the intrigue education. I'm always interested in the outcomes of those. I think that'll be a good opportunity for her. Can ransom prisoners, but I'm not going to do that yet. I wonder why I don't have the option to... There it is. Oh, look, I can't because it's a mountain terrain. Interesting. Oh, we should still have the attack, though. Yeah, we should have the tactics, the dragon tactics, which should be enough to win this battle. Look, Branstone is converted to the Old God's faith. Yeah, look, we're not having any issues. We're just gradually taking out. We're taking some losses on our center line here, but we've almost evened the numbers out. They have defense because of the mountains, but we've already taken out their center. As we met in the battle, male Snowbear threw itself against us, tearing scores of our men to pieces. Many fled in terror before its wrath, weakening the men's resolve. So look, this guy has a Snowbear that follows him. It's fantastic. Can you imagine Vaelor like looking out over that and like seeing his father in that? Wouldn't that be crazy? Savage Skin Changer. Look, we're still... Now we have peasant revolts. I wonder what's up with that. That's the second one this episode. Look, yeah, we won that battle quite easily. And look, we captured King Orig. That's awesome. Is there anything we can do to him? Probably not honorable. You can humiliate him. Publicly humiliated. We can execute him. We can ransom him. 250 gold. No, they can't afford it. Okay. So that'll end the war. We need to get this army back over here to this to these ships, so they can go ahead and march. Actually, if they get up to Antler Vale, that'll put them in the right state. It's a reasonable request. I want to say we can now go ahead and ransom as many prisoners as possible. Gain a little bit of gold from our war contribution. Jared Rivers, son of Tala. Let's just spend the normal amount. Let's give him a good education, but not fantastic. You'll have a diplomatic education. It's fine with me. I get the feeling we're going to run into issues going forward if we're not careful with, ooh, look at that, 18,000 men. We're going to run into issues going forward if we're not careful about these peasant revolts. They tend to stack, and they tend to get worse. And I don't know why. I don't know why we're experiencing them right now, because, I mean, technically we're not in any... I mean, we're still in prosperity. I know there's some discontent with our council, but we're not really experiencing anything other than, like, minor debuffs because of that. Okay, so that's done. And it's not like they're difficult to take care of, but they just... There's something about it that just makes a... What is that? Is it Jeremy? Is that the guy? Yeah, banish you to the Night's Watch, bud. Canaan. Ooh, look at that. Wildling, Greenseer, Giant. It's fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to release you. Just because I don't want you. There's no reason to have you. I can disband this army. And let's see where we're at with this. Okay, cool. They're attached. Let's get them back down as quickly as we can. Right here. We can disband this unit. We can wait on those guys to arrive. Let's look at these plots that haven't ended yet. All these seem fine to me. One thing that we need to be careful with is in our court, and one thing that we need to consider, is in the court of the High King Vaelor, we do have a bastard son. If you remember, there was that episode where we found out he had a son, but it's like hidden. And I think the little guy's name is Ned. It is, right here. Ned Rivers. Amara the Wicked. I wonder if we can prove ourselves as his father. Let's give you the struggle focus, man. Hopefully you become a great and mighty warrior. Is a relative of the Snow Bears. That's Adric Rivers, who was the original member of House Snow Bear. Little Ned. We need to figure out a way to be able to add him, like, to reveal Vaelor as his real father. And hopefully that ends up being another cadet house. Faith of the Seven rebels have risen up in Duskendale, led by a militant Septon. 400 men, really? Let's join her war. Oh, we can't. Okay. Hopefully she can deal with that. It's only 400 men. I mean, you would think there would be some ability there to handle that. Looks like there's a new Lord Commander on the wall. Oh, wow. He's a Kohuric. Yeesh. That's hilarious. Wonder what happened with that. It's an interesting... It'd be an interesting dynamic. Because typically, Night's Watch is pretty much exclusively Westerosi. Interesting. Very interesting. She better deal with this Faith of the Seven Uprising quickly. I don't wanna come into a situation where I have like this gigantic Faith of the Seven Uprising on my hands. So hurry up and deal with that, friend.